Hello, my motor enthusiasts. Lewis Hamilton's performance and dedication to Mercedes are under the microscope, with the alarm bells starting to ring as he gears up to join Ferrari next season. The last 4 Grand Prix meetings have seen him bested by his teammate George Russell, marking his rockiest start to an F1 season in over 10 years. His struggles with car setup, particularly the lack of rear stability, have been evident. Even his manager, Flavio Briatore, has hinted that Hamilton isn't giving his all if the car isn't up to snuff. Adding fuel to the fire, other F1 personalities have also voiced criticism over Hamilton's commitment, suggesting he's already mentally clocked out of Mercedes. It's a high-speed drama indeed, folks, and it's only going to get more intense. Hello, my motor enthusiasts. You're joined today by the one and only Enzo.
And of course, this is your favorite commentator, William.
We're thrilled to have your company on the F1 Motor Fever podcast. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. It means a lot to us and ensures you never miss a beat. Now let's go full throttle. As it turns out, Lewis Hamilton's decision to join Ferrari next season is not only causing a stir, but it's also raising a few eyebrows within Mercedes. As preparations for the 2025 F1 battles gear up, Hamilton will inevitably be sidelined from certain development discussions. This comes in light of Hamilton's concerning performance, where George Russell, his teammate, has out-qualified him in the last 4 consecutive Grand Prix meetings. The tide seems to be turning, doesn't it?
Certainly, and this isn't just about being out-qualified. In fact, Russell has finished ahead of Hamilton in the last 3 races. Hamilton's performance has indeed taken a hit, with his start to this F1 season being his worst in more than 10 years. It's a challenging situation, to say the least.
Indeed, it's a tricky situation. Despite opting for a higher downforce rear wing during practice 3 to enhance rear-end stability, Hamilton's struggles with car setup continue. He even reverted back to Russell's setup for the qualifying round, but unfortunately, his time was only good enough to start the race on Saturday in the 4th place. He's clearly grappling with the car's setup.
Absolutely, and this frustration isn't just coming from Hamilton. Even Fernando Alonso's manager, Flavio Briatore, has voiced his doubts, questioning whether Hamilton is the right driver to lift Ferrari from their years of failing to win. It appears there's a lot on the line for Hamilton and his future with Ferrari.
So according to Fernando Alonso's manager, Briatore, Hamilton's struggles might not just be about the car. He thinks that without a decent car, Hamilton doesn't put in much effort. That's a rather disheartening perspective, isn't it?
It is indeed. But it's not just Briatore who's questioning Hamilton's commitment. Even David Coulthard, the former F1 driver, suggested that Hamilton has already checked out of Mercedes mentally. His current struggles and upcoming move to Ferrari seem to be taking a toll on his performance.
And it's not just about Hamilton's performance. There's more. As it stands, Mercedes are the 4th best behind Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren. Even Aston Martin could potentially overtake them. This is turning out to be quite a challenging year for Hamilton and Mercedes, isn't it?
It certainly seems so. But it's worth noting that despite his current troubles, Hamilton does have a knack for bouncing back. If he finds his rhythm, he's fully capable of delivering on performance. But as Coulthard suggested, it looks like Hamilton's mind is already in Ferrari.
But even at Ferrari, things might not exactly be in his favor. Apparently, Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur wasn't too keen on Hamilton joining Ferrari. The decision to recruit Hamilton was made over Vasseur's head by the president of the company, John Elliott. With this in mind, Hamilton might have an uphill battle there too.
It's certainly looking like a challenging road ahead for Hamilton. Only time will tell how he navigates these hurdles. But on a last note, we mustn't forget that Hamilton has been beaten by a teammate only 3 times in his astounding 17-year Formula One career. So, let's not count him out just yet.
Now, it seems like Hamilton's struggle to adapt to the new F1 ground effect cars is adding to his woes. Apparently, the movement of the center of pressure under the floor has been a significant point of contention for him.
Yes, it's an issue he has repeatedly highlighted, most recently to Sky F1's Rachel Brooks. Apparently, it affects the ride height and shakes his confidence in the car. He's even expressed skepticism about Mercedes' ability to challenge Red Bull next season.
He certainly is under no illusions about the scale of the challenge. To quote him, "We're 1 second away," he said. "It's like crazy." He also expressed concern about being a second down on a track like this, which is definitely a worrying sign for the team.
And it's not just Mercedes that should be worried. These concerns are surely echoing in the corridors of Ferrari as well. They must be questioning what mental state Hamilton will be in when he joins them in 2025.
Absolutely. And it's not just a short-term commitment. Hamilton will likely have a 2-year contract with Ferrari. So if he can't raise his game, Ferrari could be stuck with him driving until the end of 2026.
That's a situation they'll want to avoid, especially given the rising talent of their academy driver, Ollie Behrman. He might get an offer from Mercedes, Red Bull, or Aston Martin, which could force him to deviate from Ferrari's plans for 2027. It's definitely a tricky situation for all involved.
It certainly is. But it's not just Hamilton and Ferrari facing potential problems. Reports suggest that away from the track, Red Bull Racing is grappling with its own controversy. The German press reports that a storm is brewing over the future of Adrian Newey, their design guru. It appears there's no shortage of drama in the F1 world. It seems like the drama isn't confined to the drivers alone. The potential departure of Adrian Newey, the renowned designer from Red Bull Racing, has set tongues wagging across the Formula One community.
Indeed. Newey's revolutionary designs have left an indelible mark on the sport. His possible exit is bound to send ripples through the ranks, with rival teams undoubtedly keen to capitalize on his expertise.
Absolutely. His departure could mark a significant shift in the dynamics of the sport. It's yet another exciting plot twist in the world of Formula One. We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and the potential fallout.
As we always do, it's the ever-present unpredictability and the relentless pace of change that make this sport so thrilling. We'll be here, keeping our listeners posted on every twist and turn. But for now, let's round off the main discussion here.
William Turner, what's the buzz online? What are the fans saying on the forums?
Well, this just in. Roddy the Ruin has posted quite a statement. Quote, "F1 went wrong way in obsessing over dirty air, says Allison," unquote.
Oh, that should stir up some interesting debates.
It certainly has. Here's what Willie Fisterbottom had to say. Quote, "F1 needs to look at their car size. How are we supposed to have overtaking when you can barely go too wide in a corner without compromising the line?" Unquote.
Can't argue with that. The sheer size of these machines can definitely limit overtaking opportunities. Any counter-arguments in there?
Indeed. Here's a response from Cage Bushin, quote, "Yes, but part of the size is due to driver safety. Bigger car, bigger impact area to slow down at a crash. I mean, I would love a smaller car. Have seen races in Interlagos where there were 5 wide in the first corner. In F1, 3 wide is already asking for trouble," unquote.
Excellent point. Safety is a paramount concern in F1. Any noteworthy comments on that?
Yes, there's an interesting viewpoint from KRacer52 who says, quote, "Indy cars have a smaller silhouette and have to sustain larger impacts than F1 does. Indy cars are well over a foot shorter, 150 pounds lighter, and roughly 3 inches narrower," unquote.
There's certainly a lot to think about here. Anything else that caught your attention?
Superhoz01 has a different take on the issue. Quote, "I'd say tyres are the thing holding F1 back. I don't have a solution, but I know everyone going into management mode once they've figured out their place isn't helping," unquote.
Tires, eh? There's always so much to consider in our sport. Thanks for that roundup, William. That's all from us today on F1 Motor Fever Podcast. We've had a great time dissecting the ins and outs of the current Formula One dynamics. Thanks for joining us on our high-speed journey. Make sure you stay in the fast lane with us by subscribing and ringing that notification bell. And remember, sharing is caring, so tell your mates about us.
Absolutely. Why keep all this fun to yourself? No need to wait for the next race weekend to get your F1 fix. We're here every day, bringing you all the thrills and spills on and off the track. Oh, and there's plenty more where this came from, so keep your eyes peeled and ears open for what's to come.
And we'd love to hear from you too, so don't be shy. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
Right, so until next time, keep the rubber on the road, the fuel in your tank, and keep tuning in to F1 Motor Fever podcast. Pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold.